Yesterday, one of you dropped 4 suburbs in the comments. 4 suburbs, 4 different states. Mow in Victoria, Bukasia in Queensland, Mowbray in Tasmania, and Wandina in WA. I said we'd have a video out the next day, so here it is. And straight away, one number. One of these 4 grew 37% in 12 months, at more than 3 times the slowest of them. Let's find out which one and whether it's already too late. Here's the spread. Mow, 90 minutes east of Melbourne in the Latrobe Valley, Bukasia on Mackay's northern beaches in Queensland, Mowbray, 3 kilometres from Launceston's CBD in Tassie, and Wandina on the coast at Geraldton in WA. Medians run from 515,000 up to 775. 4 completely different economies, 1 identical test. Before the towns, the method, because we don't guess. Property selection is a science. Demand drivers on one side, employment, projects, lifestyle, population, supply on the other, subtract supply from demand, and what's left is opportunity. Mow rides the valley's energy economy, Bukasia rides Mackay's mining services, Mowbray rides the university, Wandina rides Geraldton's port. Same equation across all 15,286 suburbs in the country every single month. And we go 4 layers deep. Layer 1, the LGA, the economy underneath the suburb. Layer 2, the suburb itself, R-score, yield, vacancy, safer. Layer 3, the street. We map every single sale from raw coordinates because the street decides more than the suburb does. And Layer 4, the property, real listings, pressure tested against our own valuation. All 4 suburbs get the full treatment. Then we rank them and I'll tell you which one we'd actually put money into. Mow first, Latrobe Valley, Victoria's 75,500 people in the LGA, unemployment 6%. In 2016, the median house here was $168,000. Today, it's $515,000. That's plus 207% over 10 years. In the town, everyone wrote off when the power stations got their closure dates. Here's the whole story on one chart. On the left, the median grinds sideways for years, then goes vertical. 375 in June last year, 515 now. Plus 37% in 12 months, the fastest of our 4. And on the right, now this is why you watch to the end. Our R-score had Mow in the mid-90s month after month. And then in April, the model cut it to around 60. So the scorecard is genuinely split. Yield is still 4.5%. But vacancy just spiked to 5.2, the loosest rental market of the 4 by a mile. CEFA, Decile 1, the most disadvantaged band in the country. And here's a twist. Mow is the only one of these 4 on our client-approved list. But it was approved when the median was around 365. That's the point. List date, prices move. Now, layer 3. And this is the map that matters. Every house sale in Mow over 24 months, 246 of them, plotted from raw coordinates. Green is expensive, red is cheap. Parkside Drive, median 770,000. Service Road, 267, same suburb at a 2.9 times spread, the widest of any town in this video. In Mow, the street is the decision. And here's why. This is the social housing layer. Mow averages 6.5% public housing, but Langford Street runs at 25%, Wirraway at 20%. Meanwhile, 29% of the suburb's pockets have essentially none. 2 streets apart, completely different investments, and no portal will ever show you this. Layer 4, what's actually for sale? 44 Elizabeth Street, a 3-bedder listed at $299 to $319, over 7% gross yield on the asking price. And 12 Monty Crescent, 4-bed 2-bath at $500 to $550, that our AVM price is around $750, flag worth investigating. Verdict on Mow, cheapest entry here, still yielding, but with vacancy at 5.2 and the score cut, the easy money was last year. Now, north to the beach. Bukasia, Mackay's northern beaches, Queensland, and this is an actual beach suburb, not marketing. An LGA of 117,000 people, unemployment 6%. 2016 median, 300,000. Today, 735, we're up 145% over the decade. 12-month growth plus 11%, Chanel the slowest of the 4, and that's exactly the interesting part. Look at the shape of this. No panic, no vertical spike, just a clean, relentless staircase from 2020 onwards. And on the right, the part that made us sit up, Bukasia has not scored below the 93rd percentile in 12 straight monthly runs, averaging 96. Boring in the way your best investments are always boring. The scorecard backs it up. Best yield of the 4 at 5% even, vacancy 2.4, safer Decile 5, a 28% investor mix, barely 2% public housing. Clean. It's not on our approved list right now, but that's about where Mackay sits in its cycle after a big run, not about quality. and street level, 190 house sales mapped. And look how tight that colour band is. No $200,000 streets, no $1 million streets. Edmonds Street at the value end, 583. Companion Way at the top, just under 800. The beach premium is real, but it's modest. Tenure is the second check. Who actually owns the street? The beachfront pockets run 70–80% owner occupied. That's your capital growth engine. Neighbours who never sell, investors cluster a few streets back from the water where the yields live. You can literally pick your strategy street by street. On the market right now, 7 Old Shoal Point Road, 3-bed, 2-bath at $570. Our AVM says that's exactly fair value and it rents at $670 a week, 6.1% yield at the beach. 17 Gentle Avenue, $680 against a $720 valuation. Verdict, you don't get a bargain in Bukasia, you get consistency and it still pays 5+. Next, the cheapest city adjacent suburb on the list. Mowbray, Tasmania, 3 kilometres from Launceston CBD with the university campus on the doorstep. In 2016, you bought here for $195,000. Today it's $560 plus 187%, and it's moving again right now, plus 27% in the last 12 months, second only to Mo. The chart shows a suburb that never really stopped. The long grind, the COVID pop, a flat 2023, and now a fresh leg up to 560. The R score sits at 82 with a 12-month average of 87 ranging 78 to 94. Not spectacular, persistent. Here's Mowbray's tension. Yield 4.8, vacancy 2%, genuinely tight. But Seafer, Decile 1, the same band as Mo, and on streets like Hague Street and Invermay Road, owner-occupiers are down around 35 to 40%. That's why it's not on the approved list, and why the next two maps are the entire decision. 101 house sales mapped, Crawford Street medians 415, Jellicoe Street 519, only a 1.3 times spread, but in a suburb this size, the line between the value streets and the renter blocks is a couple of 100 metres. And the social layer here is stark. The Janefield Street pocket runs 22.6% social housing, the single heaviest concentration across all 4 suburbs in this video, 2 streets away, effectively 0. Buy on the wrong side of that line and you wear it in growth, in tenants, in resale. The map is the moat. What's live, 36 Vermont Road, a 3-bedder at 545 that scores in the 97th percentile of our stack, 5% yield. 14 Verdun Street at 595 against our AVM of 715. Verdict, real value, this close to a CBD, but strictly as a street-by-street buy. Last stop, west to the suburb that outscores them all. Wandina, Geraldton, WA, the newest suburb here, coastal estates built mostly since 2010. The smallest economy too, 38,000 people, unemployment 9%. And yet, the priciest median of the 4 at 775, up 80% in 5 years, with $123 million of tracked infrastructure spend around it. The chart is pure WA cycle flat, actually falling through the mining hangover, then from 21 straight up. 430 to 775 in 5 years. And the R score right now, 99, top 1% in the country, 12-month average 93, and it's rising, not fading. The fundamentals are the cleanest of the 4. Vacancy 0.9%. There is functionally nothing to rent. Safer Decile 8, by far the most advantaged. Yield still 4.7 even at these prices. The only reason it's not on our approved list is the same debate you're probably having right now. How much of the WA run is left at a 775 entry? Street level, 138 house sales in a narrow band. Jackson Loop is your entry point at just under 600. Shamrock Street tops out at 815. It's all new stock, so build quality is uniform. The spread is location within the estate, oceanside versus highway side. And the tenure map. Half of Wandina's statistical pockets have 0 social housing, and owner occupation hits the mid-80s on streets like Eurythmic Link and Barrett Drive. This is what Decile 8 looks like drawn on a map. The constraint here isn't demand. It's purely what you pay to get in. Livestock, 8 Herbert Street, 4-bed, 2-bath at 750. Our AVM says 775, and it rents at 775 a week, 5.4% yield. 7 Oceanside Drive at 699 against a 785 valuation. Verdict, the best raw suburb of the 4, but the fullest price. Now let's settle it. 10 metrics, 4 suburbs, winners in gold. Mo takes price, momentum, 10-year growth, and the approved list box. Bukasia takes consistency and yield. Wandina takes score, vacancy, and demographics. Mowbray, honestly, doesn't win a single column outright, and it might still be the smartest value play on the board, which is exactly why you never buy off a single metric. Our ranking. Number 1, Bukasia. Never below the 93rd percentile all year, best yield of the 4 and an actual beach. That's the one we'd write a check in on the Edmonds Street side under about 700. Number 2, Wandina, the best suburb at the fullest price. 3, Mowbray, genuine value, but only if you respect the street maps. And 4, Mo, yes, the only approved list suburb here, but it was approved near 365. At 515 with vacancy loosening and the score cut to 60, chasing it now is buying last year's trade. Joel, genuinely good list. All 4 are investable. Order of entry is everything. That's 2 videos this week that started life as a comment, so keep them coming. Drop your suburbs below and we'll run the same 4-layer stack on them. And if you want the 5 markets where we are putting client money right now, the full 5 markets report is free at ripe.house/5-markets. Link in the description. 634 million invested, 1,352 properties, 100% independent. See you in the next one.